in the asik, the Bryce Canyon National Park. Teman-teman, this is salah satu canyon yang gede banget. Oke ya. Teman-teman, sekarang kita ada di Bryce Point, bagian daripada Bryce Canyon, dan kita sekeluarga di sini sedang mengagumi nih bagian dari Amerika.
Bryce Canyon National Park is an American national park located in southwestern Utah. The park's main feature is Bryce Canyon, which is not a canyon, but a series of large natural amphitheaters along the eastern side of the Ponsauget Plateau. The park is known for its hoodoos, which are geological structures formed by frost weathering and stream erosion, the river, and lake bed sedimentary rock. The rock's red, orange, and white colors offer stunning views for visitors. Bryce Canyon National Park is much smaller and sits at a much higher elevation than nearby Zion National Park, with its rim varying from 8,000 to 9,000 feet. The Bryce Canyon area was settled by Mormon pioneers in the 1850s and was named after Ebenezer Bryce, who homesteaded in the area in 1874. The area was originally designated as a national monument by President Warren G. Harding in 1923 and was redesignated as a national park by Congress in 1928. The park covers 35,835 acres or 55.99 to square miles, or 14,500 to hectares or 145.0 to square km, and receives substantially fewer visitors than Zion National Park or Grand Canyon National Park, largely due to Bryce's more remote location. The park is located in southwestern Utah, about 50 miles northeast of the city and 1,000 feet higher than Zion National Park. Bryce Canyon National Park lies within the Colorado Plateau geographic province of North America and straddles the southeastern edge of the Ponsauget Plateau west of Ponsauget Falls. Ponsauget means home of the beaver and Paiute. Visitors arrive from the plateau and look over its edge toward a valley containing the fault and the Paria River just beyond it. Paria means muddy or elk water in Paiute. The edge of the Kuiperwitz Plateau bounds the opposite side of the valley. Bryce Canyon was not formed from erosion initiated by a central stream, meaning it technically is not a canyon. Instead, headward erosion excavated large amphitheater-shaped features in the Cenozoic age rocks of the Ponsauget Plateau. This erosion resulted in delicate and colorful pinnacles called hoodoos that are up to 200 feet high. A series of amphitheaters extends more than 20 miles north to south within the park. The largest is Bryce Amphitheater, which is 12 miles long, 3 miles wide, and 800 feet deep. A nearby example of amphitheaters with hoodoos in the same formation, but at a higher elevation, is in Cedar Breaks National Monument, which is 25 miles to the west on the Markaget Plateau.
Gile teman-teman, kita sudah sampai di Rainbow Point dengan elevation sekitar 9.115 feet ya. Wah, dingin banget ya. Tapi bagus. Di sini sangat bagus. Oke. Kita bisa lihat dari betapa teraturnya di sini. Nggak ada tukang tahu, nggak ada tukang kacang. Biasanya kan kalau di Indonesia kan terahu, karacang gitu. Oke.
Rainbow Point is the highest part of the park, located at 9,105 feet, and marks the end point of the 18-mile, 29 kilometers scenic drive. From there, visitors can enjoy views of Aquarius Plateau, Bryce Amphitheater, the Henry Mountains, the Vermilion Cliffs, and the White Cliffs. On the other hand, the lowest part of the park is Yellow Creek, which is situated at 6,620 feet and exits the park in the northeast section. The area has a long history of human habitation, with archaeological surveys of the Ponsauget Plateau indicating at least 10,000 years of human presence. South of the park, artifacts from the basket maker Anasazi dating back thousands of years have been found. Additional artifacts from the Pueblo period Anasazi and the Fremont culture up to the mid-12th century have also been discovered. The Paiute Native Americans later inhabited the area, arriving around the time the other cultures departed. They predominantly relied on hunting and gathering for their food, although they also cultivated plants. The Paiute developed a mythology surrounding the Hoodoos, believing that they were the legend people turned to stone by the trickster coyote. According to an older Paiute, their culture referred to the Hoodoos as Ankakuwazowits, which translates to red painted faces in Paiute. The first European Americans explored the area in the late 18th and early 19th centuries. In the 1850s, Mormon scouts visited the area to assess its potential for agriculture, grazing, and settlement. In 1872, U.S. Army Major John Wesley Powell led the first major scientific expedition to survey the Sevier and Virgin River area as part of a larger survey of the Colorado Plateaus. Small groups of Mormon pioneers followed and tried to settle east of Bryce Canyon along the Paria River, and in 1873, the Ganara Cattle Company began to graze cattle there. In the same year, a road was built on the plateau to provide access to viewpoints over the amphitheaters. The Bryce Canyon Lodge was constructed from local timber and stone from 1924 to 1925. In 1931, President Herbert Hoover expanded the park by annexing an adjoining area south of the park, and in 1942, an additional 635 acres were added, bringing the park's total area to 35,835 acres. The Scenic Rim Road was completed in 1934 by the Civilian Conservation Corps. Park administration was initially carried out from Zion National Park until 1956, when Bryce Canyon's first superintendent began working. The park boasts a 7-point magnitude night sky, making it one of the darkest in North America. This allows stargazers to observe up to 7,500 stars, while in most places, light pollution limits visibility to fewer than 2,000 stars. In many large cities, only a few dozen stars are visible. Park rangers conduct public stargazing events and evening programs covering topics such as astronomy, nocturnal animals, and night sky preservation. The Bryce Canyon Astronomy Festival, usually held in June, attracts thousands of visitors. As a tribute to this festival, asteroid 49,272 was named after the national park.